What's up, guys? Right here. This is Sword Combat Part 2. We're just gonna go over the animations. So if you click the link in the description, it has the animations for you guys. Just grab them, and then you can open up the toolbox, My Models. You'll add the model. It'll be like these two dummies of me. Ungroup it. So for ungroup it, then use the animation editor. And if you click on load, you'll see that R6 idle and the R6 equip. And the same with the R15, R15 idle, R15 equip. And then you'll export those animations, right? And then you'll copy and paste them and put them inside of the animation like preloader. Sorry for the word cut. But yeah, like I was saying, just copy and paste your animations into the preloader. And then remember like our sword spawn script? So I made another version that we're gonna use. So there's like some slight differences. So we're just gonna add like the weld part one. Well, first we need to call on our humanoid, right? Local humanoid, secret character, dot humanoid. And then we need to check if humanoid dot rig type is equal to enum dot rig. I think it's humanoid rig type. The R15, then else, and and then change this one to R6. Now change or set weld part 1 to character wait for child lower torso since it's R15. And for weld part 1 you could just keep primary part. So that's just a slight change that we needed to make for the sword spawn. And I did this because when I was like animating and I was turning the torso, this turns along with this torso, but this stays in place because it's on the humanoid part, right? So yeah, that's just like the little slight differences. Now for the sword combat, there's a bit of changes, but to start, just make a folder inside of it. Well, make two folders actually. Name one R15, name one R6, and then grab your two animations for both of them. So I'm just copying my R15 animations to her and copying my R6 animations in, right? Now I did make katana animations just to help a little bit, but I don't think we need to go too far in depth, honestly. If you want to do like the motor 6 like swords where you can like spin them like this, just let me know. And then I could just do that for you guys. But I'm gonna try to keep this simple. So I'm just gonna like diverge from that path just a little bit. So we're checking so go into the sword combat, right? And we're checking if is equipped, then you can do local equip anim is equal to humanoid the animator load animations or animation. And actually no, we're gonna set like this variable, right? So this is gonna be like an empty variable. Then we're gonna do if humanoid dot rig type is equal to enum dot rig humanoid rig type dot R15. Then we're just gonna copy this a little bit. I'm gonna make it for R6 as well. So R6. So for the R15 like version, we're gonna do script dot R15 dot equipped. And for R6, we're just gonna do the opposite. So R6 dot equip, right? And then we have to play the animation, right? And if we test this, so right now you just see the sword like just teleports to the hand or whatever. So we want to sort of delay this part. So use the animation editor, and we're gonna do R15 first. But they're the exact same like way you have to do it. At like this part, right? Where you're grabbing the sword, right click in the empty space, add animation event, and then call it sword, right? So now you should have like this little icon thing pop up. And then you can just re-export it. I'm gonna export it as the same one. It's R15 equip. You're gonna do the same for R6. Alright, so now that we have that, right? Go back to the sword combat. Drop a line under equip and then play. And do equip. Get marker reached signal. And then in the parentheses, we're gonna do sword, because that's the animation event name. Colon connect function. And then that, right? So remember all of this that we did? So local katana, if katana, you know, all that. Just grab everything inside of that and paste it into the get marker reach. And we could just like test this real quick. Actually, I'm gonna teach you how to motor 60. So you see, it only brings up the sword when my hand reaches at it. And now I can just test this in R6 to show you too. So there's this. And they both walk like work the same. So once I hit that part, bam, bam. All right. So remember we did the hand weld, right? And I can do this real quick. So make a part first before you do anything. Just make a part. Make the size 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And then you can just make it invisible. Name it right handle, right? And then make sure can't collide is false, mask list is true. And then drag this part that you made into the sword combat script, right? This will just save us time from instancing a part, right? So we're gonna kind of still need the hand weld, but it doesn't need to be called hand weld, right? So we're just gonna start at the top. So local right handle secret of script, right handle clone, and then we're gonna do like the humanoid rig type again. So actually we can don't need it. We're gonna copy like the C frame, right? So we're gonna do right hand dot C frame is equal to, and then just do the C frames that we have here. So that's R15s, and that's okay. And this is R6s, right? And let me just make sure I put right handle dot C frame to get a character. So that's what you should have right now. It's just this. And I'm just gonna scroll up so you can see. And I'll just put some spaces there to read it better. Now you can yeah, you can remove this. You don't need this anymore. And you can remove the hand weld part. So you just have this, right? And then we need to weld the right handle to the arm, right? So that new. I'm gonna just use manual weld. It don't matter, you can use regular weld. Part 0, so get a right handle. And then we're just gonna use yeah. We gotta use this. We're gonna use the humanoid rig type. So make sure you have the R15 and R6. So for R15, you set weld part 1 to character with a child right hand. If for R6, you set it to right arm. And then you just set C frame to weld part 1, part 0, dot C frame to object space. Weld part 1 dot C frame. And then weld dot parent is equal to weld dot part 0. So this is just welding the right handle. I'm just close that. I don't need to close it out. I'm just gonna remove the spaces. Then we need to drop a line. And we need to set katana.c frame will set primary part C frame. I'm gonna set that to right handle dot C frame. And then we need to create a motor. So motor 6D is equal to instance dot new motor 6D. This is practically rigging like the sword. And I'm gonna show you how to play animation on it as well. So make the motor. And pretty much we're just gonna set the motor up. Kinda how like we set the weld up. So yeah, we're just setting the motor 6D practically the same. So motor 6D part 0 is katana primary part. The motor 6D dot part 1 is equal to right handle. So yeah, part 1 is right handle. Part 0 is primary part of the katana. And motor 6D dot C0 is equal to motor 6D part 0. And we're just gonna do two object space. Part 1 dot C frame. And then motor 6D dot parent is equal to motor 6D dot part 0. So that's setting up the motor. And now inside of like the sword spawn, remember that we have the katana. Inside the katana, make an animation controller. Make sure I says animation controller. So you see there's three choices. Click animation controller and call it controller. And then inside of that, make animator, not animation, okay? And just keep it as animator. And I have the two animations. I think it's in the script. So yeah, I'll put these two animations. R15, R6. I'll put these two animations in the download as well, so you guys can have it. They're gonna be in like a folder, because I can't put them on the dummies themselves. But you're gonna have these two animations. I'm just gonna place them into where they need to go. So we have sword combat. Now we can test this. This isn't gonna like work right away. We still need to play the animation for the sword, but just testing to make sure the motor 60 works, which it didn't. Right here at line 42, just put a space. Because R6 has spaces in it, like limbs, so yeah. Let me just check to make sure the motor is still not working. Oh, I see. So the right handle, right? We forgot to parent it. Parent it to the controller. I mean, not the controller, the character. We have to parent it. How did I forget that, bro? Press E. There we go. So you'll notice how you can't put it away yet. It's because we changed the system from the weld to the motor. So I'm just gonna hide the if statement up here so you can see all of this. So we gotta get rid of this hand weld part. So we could change it to right handle and then change this to character. Right handle. And just change it to that. And since the case is still there, this should all be set correctly and this should work. So when we test this, now we can put it away. There we go. So yeah. Now for playing the animation for the swords, so the if statement where I did the equip anim, you could just do another local like variable. You could do sword anim, and then if it's R15, you know the drill. Sword anim is equal to, and actually we need to put this inside of the local katana part. Yeah. So copy all of that and put it inside of the local katana part, right? Like above the side weld. And then put the get marker reach inside of that, right? I just gotta remove the extra end right here. Just gonna indent that like backwards so we don't have any problems. And then just move the side weld part inside of the get marker reach so that we have that. Now we can do katana dot controller dot animator, not animation, animator, load animation script R15 dot katana, and do the same for the sword anim for R6. So R6 katana R6. Now instead of equip play, we're gonna do it inside of the side weld part, like the get marker reach part. So we're just gonna do sword anim colon play. I'm just gonna publish this. And now if you need to see the script, this is what it looks like. Might seem like a lot, it's because I'm just trying to use both R6 and R15. You can always remove the one that you don't want to use. But for this video, I'm doing it in both ways. You can like pause at any time as well. So yeah. Alright. So we press E. Animation isn't working. Hold up. I think I might have messed up the animations. Let me just double check this real quick. Sorry for the word cut. So yeah, I found the sword animations, and I just exported them, and it just changed IDs back to them. So I'll give you guys the keyframes so you can export and use them as well. And this is what they look like. I think this is R6 first. Pretty sure because I was testing R6 last. But yeah. You see how this sword kind of turns a little bit. It's not the best, because, you know, I'm not the best animator. But, you know, I try, you feel me? Your boy tried. And, the next step is the idle animation. So, how do we want to do this? We can drop a line. We can close out the get marker reach signal function. And we can use like quick anim dot stopped colon connect function. And then we could do local idle. And then we're gonna need to use the rig type again, because you know R15 and R6. Move that. 6 idle is equal to humanoid the animator load animation script the R15 the idle, and then vice versa for R6. And we're gonna play idle, and idle is like a looping animation. You'll see. So I could test, and I'm gonna show the R15 so you know that R15 is working as well. All right, so we're loaded in. Press E. We got that idle. It's so weird, but you know, I know animator, so you know. Let's see. I pull out the sword, and then go into the idle animation. The walk looks goofy. I know. I don't have a custom sword walk. Don't at me. But yeah, it will suffice. R6 looks a little bit better in terms of like the idle animation, but with idle and like walking, but other than that, they look both goofy. But yeah, how you get the idle and stuff to work. Then we'll be disequip it or unequip. We're just gonna close out the is equip part. So actually we can copy. We can copy the equip anim, like this whole section right here. And then we can paste it above. So we could do that, right? And we don't need the sword anim. We just do that. And then we can go back up and grab the get market reach part. And I'll show everything just in case this is like too like much, if that makes sense. I'll just close these out real quick so you can see more. I'm just gonna copy all of this. And I'm gonna put it in the get market reach signal. So now when we test, I have the player pulling out the sword, and this player putting the sword back. And probably like, how do we stop the idle animation from playing? We're gonna get into that. So after the equip anim, we can do a coroutine wrap function, and then put the parentheses. Remember, if you don't use the parentheses here, it will not run anything inside of here. And yeah, we'll keep it coroutine. And then we're gonna do for underscore comma track in pairs humanoid animator get playing animation tracks do, and if track dot name is equal to idle, then track stop. So that's what you need to stop the anim, like the idle animation. So when we test this, press E, you break out the sword, put it back, and idle animation stops. And I'll show R15 real quick. Just gonna play it. Just to show y'all that it works. Yeah. That's a weird idle animation, but yeah. This is like your most basic sword equip like animation stuff. Obviously you could probably do better than me in animation, like animating. But yeah. If you like this video, hit that like, sub, share. Part 3 of the sword combat will just be doing like the slashes. Obviously I'm not the best animator, so don't expect no TB glitch or nymphe, you feel me? But yeah. I think somebody else wanted a block system, so I'll do like the block system as well. And the block system will go for the combat, like the melee combat before, and then we'll do a sword. We'll probably just copy it from the melee to the sword. Just change up the animations and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching.